Houston, we've had a problem.
And it looks like a devil, man, a demon.
And this thing is big.
And the next thing I know, it was right over top of us.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to the Lost Frequency Podcast. I'm Tom.
And I'm Rye.
Today we're going to have on Mr. Harley Owens. He's got a Sasquatch encounter in Virginia.
Don't you mean Bigfoot?
Depends who you talk
Don't you mean wood booger?
Don't you mean skunk ape? Don't you mean
Yeti?
Yeti? Yeah, that's another good one. Forest people.
Abominable snowman.
What's that crazy one that Thomas Stewart was selling?
You throw me out. I know. I totally
end.
forgot. I forgot that Thomas and Scott Pace.
I can't remember what they call it. It's such a.
I keep thinking of like Tatanka, but I'm like, no, Ryan, that's Dances with Wolves. Tatanka.
That was since we wrote this one on WhatsApp, and I was like, you made my day, dude.
I know. See, you knew I didn't know, and I never actually did the homework and figured it
I
out.
thought by now you have it, but you're a busy man this week.
We've been both really busy.
Very busy trying to figure this whole thing out. By the way, dude, this is YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Put yourself a little bit of write something at the bottom if you like it, don't like it. Click your notification bells, tell your friends, all that good stuff.
Yeah, like we have about 90% of our viewers are not subscriptions. They're not subscribers. 90%. Yeah, I looked it up. I was checking the analytics because we like to do that.
Yes, I didn't see that part of it, but I was looking at the other things.
Yeah,
going like,
interesting. All right. Yeah. So do you want to jump into it, or is that the rest for our housekeeping that we need to do?
Oh yeah, don't forget to go on Ko-fi.
Ko-fi.
Sign up if you want to.
Yeah, so Ko-fi, Ko-fi is kind of like, it's almost identical to Patreon. It's just a little easier for us. Like, we don't have to pay Ko-fi as much as we'd have to pay Patreon. And what it is we have a bonus episode there. We have a couple of extended episodes, and for $5 you get the extended episodes. 10 or 20 you get the bonus and extended episodes, and the 20 you actually get a shirt that we designed.
And you get a how do you do from Rye and I.
Yeah. We'll call you up and be like, hey, how's it going?
Hey, what's going on? What's the weather there like?
Yeah. Totally. Okay.
All right. Now I guess we can also get to the episode now.
Yeah. All right. So without further ado, I want to welcome Harley Owens to the Lost Frequency Podcast.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all for having me.
Awesome, Harley. Well, thanks for coming on. And, why don't you tell our listeners, our viewers, a little bit about yourself and where they can find you?
Well, I live in East Tennessee, about 10, 15 minutes from North Carolina, line on 40. So what I do now, I actually work in a factory now. I don't work outdoors anymore. Since my encounter happened, I work in a factory now. And I used to deer hunt, turkey hunt all the time until I had my encounter, and I haven't done it in 3 years, and this encounter has had a really, really hard time on me being an outdoorsman, and I get weary whenever I'm outside. So it's had a big impact on me.
Wow. That sounds like a very psychological, like negative impact to your life, that it really threw a curveball. If you're saying you're an avid, hunter, and now that's kind of like not in the cards anymore.
Yeah. No, it ain't. No.
Wow.
Did you at least move to the city or something? Or you're near Knoxville?
I still live in the city, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that sucks, man. Well, why don't you go ahead and tell us about what you were doing and like kind of Walk us into the whole
Yeah.
experience, man.
Set the setting for us.
Setting. That's
I will.
terrible.
So at the time, I was working for an auction company, and we took apart old sawmills and sold the equipment and stuff out of them. And we were up there for 2 weeks. This town was called Pound, Virginia. It's about 15, 20 minutes from Kentucky line. And we were up there for 2 weeks. The week prior, it was me and a couple other guys, and we were cleaning up the equipment and taking pictures for the auction that was coming up that weekend. And we talked with the owner, and he was telling us about a bear that was in there rummaging through the trash, and the coyotes and everything else that was up there. And he said there's far worse things than the bears and the coyotes and the snakes, and that kind of stuck with me. I was like, that's odd. So going on through the week.
Yeah.
Kind of an ominous premonition, yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, it really stuck with me. I was like, that's odd. So going on through the week there, nothing really happened. I mean, I had a feeling maybe there was something going on up there that he wasn't letting going on. So the auction came on Saturday, and I stayed up there for the next week for people that had bought stuff and was coming up to pick it up. So on a Sunday, the day after the auction, I was out there hanging out, and I wasn't just going to sit in a hotel all day. So I went back to the sawmill, and I was sitting there just walking around looking, and it was raining, and I found a couple sets of tracks, and I was like, that's odd. There's somebody walking around out here barefooted, and it's clearly bigger than me. I'm 6'6". I'm 6'6".
You're 6'6".
I'm 6'6", and I wear a size 12 boot. I mean, that's not really a big boot, but it's pretty big, and these tracks were a couple inches longer than mine. But there was just a couple of them, I couldn't really make them out. I was like, well, that's probably the bear's track. I was like, if it's this bear, it's a big bear. So going on the next couple of days there, I was still by myself, and it was a Tuesday, I believe. It was dried up because the sun had been out. It was summertime. It dried up, and I was looking around, and there was a deer trail that come off of the ridge and came across this dried up creek. So I was like, well, I'll just walk out this deer trail and look. And I found a trackway with tracks, and yeah, I knew for sure there was something up. So I mean, I was a non-believer, and then I was like, well, there's definitely something. So the next day, it was a Wednesday or a Thursday. I believe it was a Wednesday, but I was taking me a break because there was a guy that come in there earlier that morning, and I wasn't really busy, so I was just hanging out by the truck. And I grabbed a Coca-Cola out of my cooler and my sandwich. I was going to take me a break, and I heard this growlish grunt. And I looked over towards the wood line because the sawmill wasn't far from the wood, so I looked. I didn't see nothing. Well, I go take a bite out of my sandwich, and I heard it again. And I looked, and I seen a flash of black across this ridge. I was like, that's odd. That's the bear probably. So I looked again, and I seen it. It was leaning out, and it went back behind the tree real quick. I was like, okay, there it is. Well, it done it again. That's when I got a really good look at it. I was like, that's not a bear. I was like, I'm really seeing what people have been seeing. I was like, I'm really looking at a Bigfoot right now. And I was like, these people are not full of crap. And I was like, they're real. And it was just the way it looked at me. It was like it had its arm wrapped around this tree. It was leaning out, looking at me. I mean, my best guess, this thing was 7-8 feet tall, if not bigger. And the only thing that really stuck with me that had the size of this thing was just how broad it was. It was massive.
So I got a question there, Harley. So if you're saying it's like 7 or 8 feet tall, and you're saying the width of it, how wide would you say that it was?
I'd say three feet easy. I mean, I'd say it was like that, if not wider.
Oh, so more like 4, yeah, more like 4.5 feet, yeah.
It's massive. I mean, it was just leaning out and looking at me, and it was just odd. I mean, it was intelligent and smart, just the way this thing was acting. It was unlike anything that I've ever witnessed. So best thing that I knew of to do at the time was to snag a picture, because I wasn't even going to try to get a video of this thing, because if I did, it would have been gone by the time I done it. So I just pulled my phone up, swiped over to the camera, and I just tried to take a picture as fast as I could, and I got it.
Is that the picture you sent me? fantastic. That was the one where I went. I was like, okay, I saw it because there's some people that send like blob squatch pictures.
Do we have? But did you?
I had the
load
picture,
it up?
but I didn't load it up on here. No.
Why don't you send it to me right now?
Okay.
And before the end of the video here, we'll load up that picture. We'll share it on the screen.
Yeah,
and
I snagged the picture, and my phone that I had at the time, this was a brand new phone, and it messed up. And I still have this phone to this day, and it still doesn't work properly. I mean, I got it to come on the other day, and it's just odd.
So after that incident, it kind of disrupted this whole phone. It kind of like just stopped functioning properly.
It was weird. I don't know how to explain it. I mean, it makes this weird beeping and bobbing noise, like a buzzing noise, whenever I try to like use the home button on it, because it was an iPhone 8 or something. It was odd, man. And just this feeling I had when this thing was watching me, it was like a feeling of fear and confusion. I don't know how to really explain it. I was confused because I was like, there ain't no way this is a Bigfoot. And then in my mind, I'm like, this is a Bigfoot. Because, I mean, what else could it have been? I mean, bears don't get that big that I'm aware of, black bears anyway. It turned around.
Harley, did you happen to... Harley, did you happen to see its face or anything like that? Can you just put in detail what you see?
I'd say it was about 100 yards away, but this thing had long black hair, and it was far away. It was over 100 yards away, but I mean, in the picture you can definitely see it. I mean, there's a black mass in that picture.
It's easily one of the best Bigfoot pictures I've seen, and I've seen not a lot, but I've seen quite a few. And that one really made me go, okay, we have to have you on because that's a fantastic picture.
And I've had some Bigfoot researchers run that picture through different filters. And there was one research group, the Rocky Mountain Sasquatch Organization. They ran it through different filters. And one of the filters they ran it through, you can see the facial features of this thing.
No kidding.
And you can see like the light shining through the hair. Like it's...
All right. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to show that picture. I already got it loaded up here. So we're going to show that picture and walk us through a little bit of that one. Okay. So I'm just going to share my screen here. Give me 1 minute. Let's get this going on. All right. So here we go here. This is so this is the picture that you took, right?
Yes, sir. That's it.
All right, and so it looks like a definite, like a ridge here, like a cliff face.
Oh wow!
And then you can see it like leaning out right here.
Yeah,
you can even see the light shining through its hair.
It was leaning in and out like it was playing peekaboo. It was just it was curious that I was there, wanting to like watching me what I was doing.
Now, I got a question here. So you can see this small tree. When it kind of went behind the tree, was it like hidden behind the tree almost?
No, that was a bush or something right there. I mean, it was like leaning in and out, and like it knew that it was hiding because there was clearly something there that I couldn't see it.
Fantastic picture.
Yeah, for sure.
Fantastic picture.
No, that is great. That is great. It almost looks like it has like its ears are. It almost, in my opinion, it looks like it has ears sticking up, like perhaps not like a Sasquatch, but maybe almost like a dog man, almost in a way.
I think that may be just like the leaves right there, but
okay.
Because like you can see like the leaves and stuff, but I mean I may not be right, but I mean it may be ears, but I don't.
Yeah,
I don't think it was. I mean it was leaning in and out, watching me, and it turned around and walked back the way it came. When this thing walked, it was just so loud, it was insane.
That's crazy because normally when people hear, they hardly hear them walk, or they say they can be so quiet. So apparently this thing wanted you to know that it was there.
It made itself known. And I'm telling you, like the strides from track to track, I couldn't even do that. I mean, like I said, I'm 6'6". I couldn't stride those tracks.
Wow.
I'm wondering, sometimes it's either juveniles that want themselves to be seen, or it's like a large alpha or large rogue male, and if you're saying that height though is like 7-8 feet, I would say that's more of like a juvenile size, which is just still
big enough,
still huge.
Yeah. It's still intimidated me.
Wow.
So you were saying that you haven't been, what happened? How did you feel? Like, what did you feel anything? What's the reason? I mean, I know there's a reason why you haven't gone hunting, but like, could you tell us why exactly that you don't want to be back in the woods again? What's your feeling about that?
Because I mean, I feel like these things can be easily provoked if you do something wrong, and I just feel like they're guardians of the forest or something like that. I mean, that's how I feel about it. There's something spiritual yet mysterious about these creatures, you know, and they're definitely interesting. I mean, they're smart, they're intelligent, and they're quite impressive.
So after it was doing this peekaboo with you, what did it do next? Especially after you you tried to take that picture. You know, you took that picture, you were able to get actually a really decent a picture. What happened after that point?
It turned around and walked back the way it came.
So it knew that it pretty much it sounds like it knew that you took a picture.
Yeah, and it just turned around and walked back the way it came up it went further up on the ridge. But that night is when the vocalization started.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So and how long did that whole encounter? How long was that the duration of you finally first seeing it, then you taking a picture, and then it walking away? Was that like, you know, a couple of minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
It was a couple minutes.
Wow.
It's a couple minutes. It was just there and it was gone.
That
felt
is
like
amazing.
an eternity. It felt like an eternity.
Imagine.
Frozen.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I have a question to ask though about your phone, and there's no wrong answer because we really don't. No one knows. Why do you think that happened? How do you think that happened?
Well, I've been looking into it, and I believe that these creatures can do infrasound, like how tigers can do it to stun their prey. And I've been looking into it, and I believe that's probably what it is. You know, I mean, it's below our hearing, and I believe, who's to say? I mean, it may not mess with technology, but it might. I'm not going to rule it out that it doesn't.
So you mean something like, so you mean it made a infrasound that was above or below our hearing capabilities range, like a dog whistle kind of thing,
yes,
and was able to affect your electronics. That's actually that makes a lot of sense. Actually, you know, that's very interesting.
Also, very, very keen of you to pull out your camera and take such a good picture. That's why.
I mean, I knew if I wasn't going to have it, nobody would believe me.
That's not true. That's what we're here for.
But nonetheless, I totally understand. You know, it's like, you know, pictures or it didn't happen. That's so many people's a saying or motif. You know, picture or it didn't happen. You're like, well, shit.
So the sighting was in the afternoon, late afternoon, right before.
It was about 1:45, 2 o'clock.
Okay.
So mid afternoon.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And where exactly was the location again of this?
It was in Pound, Virginia. I can send you all the location of it. I thought I did. I have had so many people blowing me up about this, wanting to talk to me. I mean, it's
no problem.
I mean, 3 years since this has happened, and it's just, I had to get it out and share my story. You know, it's had a big impact on me.
So this is like in the middle of the pandemic, or more or less, right?
Right before, a little right after it started. Yeah, it was September of 2020.
September 2020, during the whole deal. So how long was it between the time that you seen it and then later that evening when you started hearing the vocalizations?
The vocalization started about dark. It's probably about 8:30, 9 o'clock.
By 8:30, 9 o'clock. And you sent me a few recordings.
But let's So you said what was it? Pound, Virginia. So I'm just going to show our listeners exactly where that is.
All right.
First of all, because we got technology. Why not? We can do that.
Tech.
Yeah. So here is. Oh, I'm thinking we're
zooming
in on it.
Show you it on a map.
Pound. Okay. There we go.
Can you put it on satellite?
Yeah.
Like
so
the green.
Yeah, for sure we can.
Yeah, I'll show you where it's at. Let's see.
Let's see here.
Yeah, I can show you exactly.
No, there we go.
Yeah, right here.
Okay. So.
Okay, you see that big building right there?
Okay, so here's Pound.
To your right. Move your mouse over to the right. Right. There's a prison.
Over this way.
Zoom out. Zoom out a little bit. Zoom out a little bit there.
Zoom out.
Zoom out.
Yeah,
Right,
right there.
Right
Go to your right.
Over this way.
Well, using that. Yeah, right there. That big
Yeah,
building
that-
right there.
Yeah.
Go to the right of that.
Yes.
That should be it right there. Go to the right a little bit more. I believe that's the sawmill right there.
Okay.
Yep, that's it. That's it. Zoom
Right here,
in on
maybe?
that. That's the sawmill. Yep, that's it.
All right.
Holy cow.
Yep.
All right.
Yep,
So,
that's
and whereabouts was this sighting then? Was it over on this
See,
cliff area, or
Yeah, that cliff
whereabouts
area
did
right
you
there.
see this?
That cliff area right there where you got your mouse.
Right here.
No, down,
Oh,
like
wow.
where the building is.
All right. So that's where.
Where the building is. Like, see where the big building is?
Oh, okay.
here,
Okay.
here.
Yeah, that cliff
Yeah.
area right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Right here.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Just,
Yep.
just
Yeah,
south of it, I
you
guess?
can zoom. You can zoom in a little bit, and you'll see the concrete pad.
On that ridge line.
Yeah, on that ridge right there. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's where it was at.
Wow. On this ridge.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. That's where it was at.
Holy cow. How much woods is around there?
Let's back out and see.
I mean,
It's pretty
you can-
remote right now.
you
You
can-
know, it's a large area, lots of valleys. You know, if
Lot of
these
places
if they
to
want to
hide.
go, yeah, lots of valleys.
And if you go to the north, there's soon to be a state park there too.
And look at it, and a cemetery.
And,
Yeah.
that's a very and that affected you. What has it affected you? I mean, other than not being able to go out in the woods anymore, has it affected your family life? Has it affected anything
My
negatively
family
other than
doesn't
having to
believe
move
me.
and do and change your life?
Yeah, my family. Other than my family.
Really?
Even with the pictures?
Friends don't believe me. Yeah, even with the pictures. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, even with the
Does
pictures.
this help you? Does it help you telling other people like Rye and I who do believe you?
Yeah, because I
Makes you
know
feel- yeah.
that there's somebody out there that's going to be listening, and they're going to probably have a story that they haven't shared, and I just want to encourage them. You know, they can share their story. You know, don't be alone. Don't let the story build up inside of you, because it'll corrupt you. It corrupted me for 3 years not sharing it, and I've just recently started sharing my encounter like a couple months ago.
Okay.
And I totally agree with you. I think that's great that you're doing this. Like, you know, it's really brave of you to step up, especially when your family doesn't believe you. You know, you're kind of showing like, listen, maybe no one believes, even your closest relatives, your friends and family, they don't believe you. It doesn't mean you did not see what you saw. You know, you still saw it, no matter what.
I've got my proof. I've got what
Yeah,
I.
it's, right. The mere fact that you won't go back in the woods anymore should be some type of evidence supporting the fact that you've seen this thing. So I don't know what to tell you. That's
So
crazy.
why don't you tell us then a little bit about these vocalizations, when you heard them and where?
Yeah, I was sitting outside of the sawmill. I was sitting in the company truck. I was cataloging, doing paperwork of who came by and picked everything up. I mean, I was still on edge. I was looking around, making sure this thing wasn't going to come up on me.
Of
And
course.
the sun was starting to go down. It just got a little bit after dark, and it got eerily quiet. The only thing going was the crickets, and then all of a sudden, this thing just starts howling, and
It's crazy.
my arm hairs just stood up, and I was like, I gotta get out of here. So I left as soon as I got the recording. I got out of there. That one,
All right,
there
so-
was one
Yeah.
particular vocalization that was on the first night. After the first, when I've seen the creature, and then the other two vocalizations were the next night.
All right, we're gonna have a listen. We're gonna put it on right now. Okay, so let's do that right now.
This is the vocalization that Harley picked up that night.
Yeah.
Get out of that bathroom.
Yeah, I'm getting goosebumps right now. Just
Hear the
listening to it
inflection?
again. And I've had people telling me this is an elk.
So no. So I will say it does sound like an elk. Like I've heard elk bugling before.
Not like that.
But no. Like no. Hang on. So I've hunted elk, so I do know this.
Okay.
So, but it's not.
Right.
This is like almost copying of an elk. It's like
Mimicking it.
mimicking.
It's about maybe 30 seconds. I
But
think.
even then,
It's unlike anything I've ever heard. I've had people tell me it's dogs, it's coyotes.
No,
Like,
no way.
No.
You know what it also sounds like? A whale. A whale.
Wait.
Wow. Listen to that. It's like
It's inflections too. Sounds like it's in
I mean,
pitch.
that whole place was just echoing. But the next pair of vocalizations, I believe that there may have been more than one.
I didn't grab those.
wow. Listen to that. It's loud. How loud it is. Is that it?
Yeah, just pause it. So we seem
We seem to have lost Harley there.
Are you coming back? Oh,
He'll be back. He'll be back.
But those are. That's why I told you, man. I was like,
Yeah,
like,
but
hey,
no,
what are
like
these?
I've hunted elk, so I
Yes.
do know the sounds. And
Well, they call it bugling.
yes,
Right.
yes, which is it's similar to this, but it's not.
It's a little higher pitched. It's like
This is more higher pitch.
no.
No.
Elk.
No, they are similar. Like it's similar, but there is like you said, mimicking. I totally agree that there is some mimicking. Wow.
That was.
But imagine that you are out there and you're hearing that, and wow, like that's extremely difficult to hear that. And then, especially after seeing that, of course, you put two and two together, and you're going to know that is exactly what it is, right?
Yeah. You're sitting in there, you're in your truck, you're doing paperwork, and all of a sudden you start hearing this. And,
Yeah.
Like he sent me
you-
three. He
yeah,
sent me
and-
three different ones. This is just the one that
Was
I really
more-
liked that I enjoyed the most. The other ones I enjoyed, but they were longer.
Yeah.
And I didn't know where to cut it. And this one had everything that the other two had.
Okay.
But like I didn't even pick up the fact that there was maybe two different ones, like he was saying. My screen is just black, he said.
All right. So, but we'll just keep going. He'll come in. He'll come in. Oh, there we go.
I have no idea what just happened. I don't know what happened.
Okay, so okay, we're playing the audio. We're playing the audio of
you
this. Okay. Can you hear us now?
I can't hear you.
Okay, we
hear me?
can hear you. Yes.
I can't hear you.
So, why don't you message him?
Yeah.
Or call him on that. So
Phone.
Okay. So we're gonna tell Harley just to go back on, and so Harley, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Harley, what we're going to get you to do is just come back onto StreamYard. We can hear you loud and clear. So maybe you might have to just kind of like restart it, like just try accessing StreamYard again to come back on. And then hopefully it'll work. Okay. All right. So we'll hang up here and we'll see you in 30 seconds. Yes. Oh, there we go. So here he comes back on.
Can you hear us now? And now we can't hear him.
And see, and now we can't hear you. Yeah. Okay. So maybe go out and then come back in. Or it could be, yeah. Okay. It's a bit of technical difficulties, which I find very coincidental, synchronistic.
Happen.
Yeah, that we play these sounds, these vocalizations,
and all of a sudden we receive
and then we get all these electronic issues.
Yes.
Yeah, especially on his end, like it's almost like localized, like
localized to whoever is
to him. Yeah, like Scott always had problems. Like we've talked about Bigfoot on other areas, and other people have not had issues. Then with Scott Pace, he told us right up front, I have issues, electrical issues because of this. Now, and Harley is saying, we're going to bring Harley on. Here he comes.
I'm back.
All right. We got you.
Do you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Perfect. We were saying how coincidental or synchronistic it was that we played these vocalizations, and you were telling us earlier how it affected your electronics, not the vocalizations, but something else. Now we're playing the vocalizations that you recorded, and electrical difficulties.
It's never happened to us before. That particular type of situation, that particular glitch. It's never happened to
Yeah,
us before.
that's just, it's odd, man. I don't understand it. You know, it's different.
Well, welcome to the world of high strangeness.
Yeah,
Yes.
no kidding.
All right, so tell us a little bit about these vocalizations then. So you said you heard it the first time. Was there anybody else working with you at that time that maybe heard that as well?
I mean, I brought it up to him and I let them listen to it, and they said they didn't hear it. And I tried to get in contact with the owner and share with him about it, and he never did get back with me.
Really? And was the owner the one that said there's other things around here that are more dangerous? Yeah, he doesn't want to talk about
Maybe
it.
it freaked him out too. He just wanted to give you kind of a warning, and then you go, "Here, I got what you were talking about." He's like, it's just been there.
Yeah.
I mean, on other.
And so, and then the second night you heard it as well too, correct?
Yeah, about 15 minutes apart.
Wow. Okay.
Those
And so
two vocalizations are about 15 minutes apart.
now I got a question here. So you heard the first one the first night, and then the second night you heard it again. Were they around the same time? What was like, maybe you said like the timeline wise, was it very similar?
Yeah, about right at dark or a little after.
Really? So it was like right after the sun went down. It was kind of like
Kind of like a reverse rooster.
yeah, like cicadas. So a lot of cicadas do that when the sun goes down. The cicadas
Cicada?
actually start up, and they go kind of crazy. Some birds do that as well too, and it's kind of very peculiar.
So when you said there was two vocalizations on the other recording, which I didn't put up here for us because you sent me, I go, I'm going to pick the one that I like the best. So how would you describe the fact that you felt that there was two different ones doing this sound?
Well, one sounded like it was coming up on the ridge where I heard the one the night prior, and the other one was way on down the hallway.
Oh, they were maybe like
So
signaling
two
each other.
different two different locations, and then you could hear it like coming from different areas. Now
And
you said
there would be wood knocks after I would stop the recording. There was several wood knocks.
You also sent me pictures of the footprints too, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, I wish I didn't know we were gonna go like this far.
You're like Tom,
Slagging.
send them over, Tom.
In the meantime, Rye,
Well, I'll take over. Yeah. So while you're sending that, now I have a question. So when you're listening to these vocalizations, you said that your hair was standing up on your arms, but tell me a little more. Like, how were you feeling? Were you feeling anything deep inside? Was it anything? Was it a
felt
sense
like
of
it was going
foreboding?
right through me. That felt like it was going right through me. I mean, it was just a trembling fear, and like if I didn't get out of there, something bad was going to happen.
So so it was not only was it like going through you, but this fear, like the sense of foreboding or fear was really overpowering. Yeah. Wow, that is incredible. All right, so while we're waiting for this, Harley, we're gonna cut out to our commercial now. So we're just gonna pop that on, and we'll be back in 3 minutes. All right, and then we got some other questions we're gonna ask you.
All right.
And of course, now talking about being prepared. Well, let's see here. Here we go. Commercial break now. All right, Frequenauts, we're pleased to introduce the revolutionary GG Mat and GG Belt from Global Genesis. The GG Mat is your ticket to a transformational journey right in the comfort of your own home.
Did you know that countless Americans have found solace with it in helping with cancer, autism, autoimmune disorders, and in general pain relief?
Yeah, let's not forget that they also helps with sleep issues. Without a good night's sleep, you're going to be pretty much useless the next day, which means you're not going to be able to work. No work equals no money. No money equals no ghost hunting tools.
Whether you choose to sleep on the GG Mat all night or use it while indulging in your favorite Lost Frequency episode on YouTube, the possibilities are endless.
But that's not all. Let's look at the GG Belt, which takes therapy to a whole new level. You can wrap it around your neck while studying the latest information on ancient apocalypses to boost your focus or bid farewell to neck pain and tension caused by prolonged hours in front of the computer trying to find your favorite episode of The Lost Frequency.
Or you can even wrap it around your waist or your shoulders to alleviate lower back pain or shoulder discomfort after an intense dogman expedition out in the LBL.
Each device uses frequencies that can range between 1 Hz to 30 Hz.
It also has pulsed electromagnetic therapy, which has been approved by the FDA for over 40 years.
Don't waste your time with near infrared. Global Genesis uses far infrared to penetrate deep inside your body where it's actually needed. The mat and belt are the superheroes you didn't know you needed. With their grounding ability, they're able to help in resolving blood clots, poor blood supply leading to strokes, dementia, Alzheimer's, or diabetic foot.
Man, with all that going on, the only reprieve would be watching the lost frequency while using the mat or belt.
And lastly, they use real quality gemstones. Makes you think of Indiana Jones kind of stuff, doesn't it?
And we got a little something for our Frequenauts. If you use the code TLF50, not only do you get $50 off the mat or belt, you also get free shipping.
To take advantage of this offer, please go to www.globalgenesiscomp, that's COMP.com. The link will be provided in the show notes. Now, back to the show.
Oh, and then he just stood up.
All right, let's jump to those pictures. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the pictures right here. This here is one of the pictures he took of the footprint. So you can see he says he has a size 12. So he's lining up the heel to heel, and look at the width of that.
You can even see the individual toes.
Right? Yeah, exactly, just like this. I know he said at first that he was thinking it was a bear, but
no,
that is not a bear.
No,
that
especially with
is,
this protruding part and
well, on the hind feet, they do have the protruding part like that.
Yeah, okay.
But
you know more about bears than I would.
But like, if this was a bear, this is like a cave bear.
The short-nosed bear.
Yeah. So even if you're seeing this, this is a huge footprint. Perfect. Yeah, we're just talking about your picture here with the footprint here, Harley.
And this was the same day or the day before?
That was the day before I seen the creature. And that that trailway, the trailway leads up to that ridge where that creature was.
Wow. And just look at the width of that thing, you know, and the ground is pretty hard. The ground is pretty hard. So for it to make an imprint,
I'd say it's every bit of 9 to 10 inches wide.
yeah, that is huge. That is huge. All right, now we're gonna show the video now too. Okay, so I'm gonna switch to that here. So walk us through a little bit of this video here. Okay. So tell me what you see here.
Is the video supposed to be on the screen? The video is not on the screen.
Yeah, so there's no sound on the video, but if you wanted to, there's the print right there, right?
I can't. The video is not on. I can't see it.
Okay. Let me see if I can get that here.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Was I not sharing the screen? We're sitting there talking about it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, so I was like, I can't see it.
Yeah. Okay. I apologize. First time user. Okay, so here's that. We're gonna do that picture again. So we'll have to cut this out of the audio, but the video, unfortunately, everyone's gonna see me mess up. So here's the footprint. And I'm assuming you're lining your heel to heel with it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we're saying, look at the width of that. You know, like this is your size 12 foot next to this, and the width is more than double the width of your foot there. Like right at this location.
It's insane that thing is as big as they are. You know, it's
yeah.
crazy.
And then you were also saying that like this ground is dry, but for it to make an impression in that dry ground, like that's got to have some weight, you know, like 800, 900 pounds, man, to make that kind of impression.
Yeah, it takes a lot of weight to do that to dry ground.
All right, so now we're gonna switch to the video here.
I wish you could see the toes, you know, but I mean you can tell.
Well, we can still see you can see the toe imprints in there. So let's take a look at the video. There's not going to be any sound, so I want you to walk us through that this video here.
You can see the little opening right there. That's where it came walking in and out of, and it's
okay.
So this trail came out right beside of the sawmill, and then there was it came across the creek and it just stepped right there and slid kind of. You can kind of see.
Yeah, you kind of see it slid down there. Yes.
that stepped and it slid. So, and then walking up a couple more steps is when I found that the next one. You can kind of see where it stepped and slid.
Wow. Look at this. Look at this.
No, it's just.
I mean, yeah, you couldn't really make out that one, but I mean, you could see where the heel was. And it slid,
You can
like,
see, yeah.
You can see. Yeah. Right
when
there.
it stepped, it just pushed.
To there. To there. Wow.
Yeah, those were the best ones that I could make out. I mean, they.
Oh, no, that is. Oh, I got to stop sharing. Stop sharing. There we go. That is fantastic. Like that evidence is fantastic. You have some of the best evidence that I've seen. Okay,
that I've ever seen.
Yeah, like you got the vocalizations. You got a picture of Sasquatch, and you have like
pictures of the footprints and a video of the footprints with the distances.
With the distances.
Yes,
exactly. You, for those people who are denying you, saying that you're not telling the truth or you're making this up. No. It's you know why? It's because if they acknowledge that this is real, it changes their whole reality of everything. And I'm sure you experience this. It is complete evil.
And being in the East Tennessee area near the Smoky Mountains, Harley, you're not immune for not seeing them again. It's because
I know.
That's where Tony Merkel is, if you know who he is from the Confessionals podcast.
Well, in Tennessee, also Daryl Denton's in Tennessee as well.
Tennessee. Yeah. It's a big hotspot for the wood booger, and I don't know which one was. Could you describe it a little bit more? Did you see like the shape of its head or something like that? Was it like a rounded head, or did it cone head, or
it looked rounded? But back to the beginning where y'all were talking about the booger and all these other names. I went to a drive-in diner, and there were some old timers in there, and I struck up conversation with them, and I told them about what I was experiencing and what I had, and I showed them everything.
Yeah.
They were kind of quiet, and then they said, "That's a devil monkey."
A devil monkey.
That's a new one.
Well, that's one I haven't heard yet.
That's something I've never heard, and that stuck with me to this day. Devil monkey.
Now, let me ask you a question, Harley. If you had a chance to see another one again, would you want to? Yeah,
I'd want to have more evidence to back up what I've already got. And
we're gonna get you one of those old cameras with the big flash bulb with the big powder.
Yeah,
I can see him mess up that technology.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and start a YouTube channel next year and a podcast. So I'm gonna dedicate my side time to it.
100%. Well, Harley, if you ever do that, let us know, and we'll help you promote it as well. And, if you need any advice or any assistance, we are more than welcome, more than happy to help you out.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm green.
Once you said
nothing, I'm new.
Because I was asking for you have, what kind of evidence or any pictures, what do you have? And you sent it to me. And I was like, because Rye was like, yeah, just ask him what he has. And then I looked at, I contacted Rye right back. I was like, yeah, we have to have him on there. This is great stuff. The picture is what sold me. That's why I was like, that one is what we're going to get. And the vocalizations.
I'll send that other picture over to you as well. The one that's ran through the filters, and you can really see the details.
Oh, we'd love that.
Definitely.
We'll put that one in the show notes as well. I know this is a question that Wes always brings up on the
that's exactly what I was going to ask too.
Sasquatch Chronicles, but it's a great question, and why can't we use it as a question? Everyone, what do you think? What do you think it is? There's no wrong.
What do you think the devil monkey is?
Yeah, what is the devil monkey? What do you think it is?
I talked with Wes a couple of weeks ago, and
did you?
He asked me the same thing. I believe that these things, and my faith is a big part of my life, and I believe that these things are the Nephilim, the fallen angels, a race of giants.
You're right up. That's a prize alley.
That's something I am. I'm not saying I'm 100% in any camp, but I'm definitely leaning towards that one. I definitely. Yeah. So, do you believe that they're flesh and blood, or do you believe that there's something like some sort of other aspect to them that is like the woo? As everybody says, woo. I don't like using
supernatural.
That, supernatural.
Well, I believe that they'd have to be flesh and blood to be leaving the tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
I mean, who's to say that they can't change form or be orbs or whatever as the people describe?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm completely in that camp as well. Like I'm I think they're both. They're of both worlds. You know, a foot in either side. You know, they are flesh and blood, and I think the longer they remain in our world, the more flesh and blood they become. But
Right.
perhaps they move off to another dimension, another world, or something else, and that kind of like that's when they disappear into these orbs.
Right. It's crazy to think. I mean, we don't have all the answers for everything, you know. I mean, the world's a whole lot bigger than me now, you know. Apparently, there's dogs.
So, Harley, we want to thank you so very much for coming on tonight. And when you do, like, once again, like Rye was saying, once you do have your YouTube channel, and if you need any assistance, any help, any connections, maybe you want to interview other people, we might have some people for you that you can connect to too. And we really appreciate the fact that you came on the Lost Frequency today.
And I have a question though before we head out here.
Oh.
Is do you foresee yourself in the future maybe hunting again? You know, getting out into the woods. Do you feel that you could do that again?
Yeah. I believe that these things can sense if they can trust you or not. And you know, if I'm out there hunting again one day and I see one of these things, I'm not going to shoot it. I'm not.
That was a question. Another question I was going to have. You know, are you going to pull the trigger or are you going to let them go? Yeah.
I wouldn't pull the trigger.
I actually feel that shooting one won't kill it, but I think then that puts you in an area that you don't want to be in, puts you in a zone that you don't want to be in. If you attempt to shoot one of them, I think that
you're gonna have a bad
then
day.
you're gonna
have real quick.
Exactly. All right, and on that note, Harley, we're gonna head south here too.
That's a segue right there.
Yeah. And we want to thank you for being on the Lost Frequency, and I really thoroughly enjoyed this.
Best of luck to you.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you for having me on, and I encourage any other listener out there, you know, share your encounter. Don't be afraid. Just share it.
Thank you so much, Harley. You take care.
Have a good night.
Yes, sir. Y'all too.
Great evidence, right? I told you, man.
Yeah, he had some fantastic, like the evidence. He had everything. He had like, I don't want to say the trifecta. It's like the quadfecta because he had a voice record. He had recording of the voices, you know, of the what do they call it? The sounding, the vocalizations.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Then he had a picture of the actual beast. He has an eyewitness account of it, and then he has videos of the tracks and the footprints
in procession.
Yeah, and then also his foot up against one of the footprints for the size.
He did a great job for not really like
for because he said he didn't believe. He didn't believe. Yeah, in the beginning, he didn't believe until it's there in your face.
Yeah, it was just he contacted me and he was like, "Hey, I got to tell you guys this." And now I was like, "Okay, man, what you got?" And he showed me. I was like, "All right, let's go," because the picture is what's that. I gotta be honest with you, because you know you see a lot of, they call them blob squatch pictures.
Yeah,
just like pareidolia, it could be whatever it is.
Yeah,
but that one where you can see the light shining through its hair.
Yeah, and it's leaning out.
And the way, just like Thomas was telling us, how they kind of lean out behind.
Thomas,
you never see him up and down or vertical.
Mm-hmm.
You always see them leaning or squatting down.
Yeah,
and it was just a fantastic picture.
And but in that picture though, like I know he said it could be the leaves. It almost looks like it had pointy ears.
I think it's the leaves myself personally.
Okay.
It's just, but it's up for conjecture. But that's what you guys are out there for, the Freaknauts.
Yeah.
Why don't you write down at the bottom what you think it was? What do you think
and
it was?
like we present. Well, not we. Harley presented all this evidence,
which is the medium.
Yeah, which is fantastic. And tell us what you think. Yeah. I agree. You know, do you still think it's fake? Do you think it's flesh and blood? Do you think it's has the supernatural aspect to it? I like that better. You know, it was great. And so I just want to say, you know, to all our listeners, all our Freaknauts out there, make sure you subscribe, please, and like if you like the video. Don't like it if you don't like it. I don't like saying, oh, like the video. Everyone just like it. No, like it if you like it, and then, you know, put a comment.
Yeah, and
tell us what you think about all this evidence.
And remember, you can contact us on Facebook at Tom Franklin
or Rye Voss.
And this is exactly how this came to be. I looked through my messages and seen them, and you can also contact us over the Lost Frequency Podcast at gmail.com, and you can send us those stories or encounters that you have, and you could be on the Lost Frequency with us. And we really appreciate it. And remember, you are listening to the Lost Frequency Podcast, where we bring the periphery in the focus.
Always.
We close with good night, good luck, and God bless all of you on the good earth.
cause of freedom.